that's enough of that. It's been going for like 4 minutes. Hello everybody. Welcome to Left for Random Talk, episode 46. Jeez.
Yes, 46.
Just so people know, Restream has recently updated their chat system again. I can't open it in browser like I usually do. So I have it installed on my computer and it's having to go through an update, so I can't actually see the chat without looking at OBS itself.
But I can look at the chat, so
Yeah.
we're good.
He's fine.
On that note, I'm currently looking for directions to my nearest CC's.
Wait, CC's Pizza?
Yes.
Lucky. We don't have one of those.
The closest one is 2 hours away from here. I'm making the trip, goddammit. Start driving, just okay.
Like we hear traffic in the background. It's like, oh no, don't mind me. Fuck you, asshole. No, don't mind me. We're just gonna continue with the topic. Is here. Oh yeah, real great with the blinker. Oh no, actually, now I want to find out where the nearest CC's to me is.
Oh Jesus.
What even is this episode?
This episode is, we ran out of ideas to do and we just decided, fuck it. Why not order from Domino's? Because Domino's doesn't have unlimited pizza buffet. That is why. And I am a fat fuck.
We do not have a CC's Pizza anywhere near us.
Jesus.
Like, it's not even showing up in Seattle. That's
Good
just
Lord.
sad.
It kind of is. Alright, so, to get on topic, we have, this is a bit of a continuation of last week's episode because of the audio, like, completely died on us.
Yeah.
But we do have some extra stuff on it as well, so we just kind of ran with it as a result.
Yep.
So, yeah. We also have a bit of something important to bring up. HH, you know what I'm talking about. And that is So we need to cover this first and foremost, and that is we covered Borderlands 3 coming out last week, and we had Liam, we had everyone. It derailed us, and we just kind of began to talk about Borderlands, but that meant
no!
What?
Don't start now.
What?
You roboted for a split second.
Oh, I don't know what happened. But like I said, we kind of talked about it, and I mentioned how Randy Pitchford is not a great guy, and we kind of went back and forth at it. And as per typical, Liam was just kind of like, nope, it wasn't his fault, or nope, no, etc., etc., etc. Well, recently, I believe on Reddit, of all places, someone released the following to Reddit.
I believe I saved that text thing you sent me.
Good. Then we'll put it up here. I'll read it so people know what we're talking about.
Nope. Fuck.
What happened?
I'm just fumbling through all the different things on OBS. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I didn't save it.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, I didn't actually save it. I shared it with Liam. That's what I did.
Oh, I can imagine what he said about that.
By the way, did you see the fucked up Pikachu?
Yes, I did.
Yay or nay?
I don't like the teeth.
Okay.
I don't like the photorealistic teeth. Everything else is fine.
Get rid of the text. Okay. I'm going to inflate this image, and I'm going to move it very slowly as he's reading.
Right, so the following says, as it goes, I worked at Gearbox, time to spill the beans since we're not allowed on Twitter. And this is true, they are not allowed on Twitter. I've had with other people. So here we go. I've messaged what I'm about to say to several protest for the Epic Store exclusivity deal. So now I'm telling you all here in case they twist what I said. I typed on mobile, so I apologize for formatting if it's weird on desktop. Randy Pitchford taking the high ground as he had nothing to do with it. Our publisher had no interest in the Epic Store exclusivity, pushed it and convinced them to do it, all because he wants a bigger bonus he didn't earn. He screams and yells at us over the smallest things. He's like a big bully almost, and you can see if you watch the press conference with how nervous the others looked next to him. Borderlands 3 multiplayer hardcore over the story. We legitimately have our 15-hour campaign done and ready to go, but are being forced to make at least 50 hours of online stuff for launch. Everything you love about Borderlands 1 and 2 is non-existent in 3. After the Epic exclusive was confirmed inside the studio, we were told we were not allowed to talk about the issues of the platform on our personal Twitters or anything. So where does this lead us? As a rebellion, we've stolen a build of the game and we will upload on Pirates Bay so you can play this story in 4 weeks if our demands are not met. We want no Epic exclusive. We want better working conditions. We want 40 hours, our weeks maximum, as we've been forced to do online. We want Rant Tyrant and to take anger management. We want to be Gearbox 2009 again, not this malicious working environment we've become. At the time of this post, when it was created, it was a week ago. We are now in week 2, effectively.
Yep.
So this is now 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks left before this happens. I suggest we all watch Pirates Bay and see what happens.
I just realized my MP3 was not even plugged in.
Oh no.
So a good number of the assets that are for the show, like the little Ivara Cupid with a beautiful butt, was not even there.
Oh jeez.
I love that thing so much.
But yes, now as we can, this is exactly what I had expected to happen years ago, and now it's finally happening. People are fed up with this bullshit of the industry. And sooner, rather than later, this is what's going to happen. Again, people aren't batteries. People aren't drones you can just make and send.
Robots.
Yeah. And when they had enough, they're going to make you suffer. Bottom line is, I'm not surprised. And like I've said 100 times over, Randy Pitchford is by far the most malicious human being I think I've ever seen in the industry. The man has sacrificed other projects for his own ego. Again, Colonial Marines. Despite what Liam will say, it wasn't a Sega thing. It was all Gearbox, and they continued to fuck it over for the sake of Borderlands 2. Everywhere. You just gotta look.
Yeah. Mutiny.
Mutiny. Sorry.
So what is Pirate Bay exactly?
Pirates Bay is it's a torrenting site, which basically puts in like games, movies, things of that nature online, and to be taken. Yeah, illegal, quote unquote, illegal redistribution. That, you know me, I have no issue with this kind of bullshit.
I'm indifferent.
Like I've said 100 times, I will support the creators of this kind of thing. I will never support publishers or groups who want to make profit for the sake of profit. But yeah, like I said, this happening now is, like I said, it's just gonna bring more people to the forefront. And honestly, it's just gonna, this is just the start. If this catches momentum and if more people like kind of follow this, then you know, this could be what sparks the industry to fix itself. I said could, not will.
Sorry, I'm writing a review in the background.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, so we just need to see where it goes. By the time week 3 comes around, we'll see if it's been put on Pirates Bay or not. So yeah. So we're gonna jump to the hatred journalist part, and we're just gonna go for seconds.
We're just gonna go straight to Cuphead because that was like the last comparison we had for it.
Yeah, basically, let's be honest. Cuphead isn't. It is a hard game, but it's not like, oh my god, you need. No, it's pattern memorization.
Yeah,
that's what all these games boil down to.
A good. We're kind of terrible at like describing things with words here. I would highly recommend the Completionist when it comes to Cuphead. As he went through the game, multiplayer and single player, with Strippin over on Twitch and YouTube, etc., etc. And the game does have bugs, clearly. It's better to play with a keyboard or with a certain game controller, depends which one. The game itself is very difficult, but it has a bit of a Dark Souls-esque kind of learning curve to it. When you do the run and guns, you learn each time you die where that enemy is, how they move, how can you best avoid it, so you won't make the same mistakes over and over again. And the more you die, the faster you're actually able to get through it.
The irony is that you need to have your brain switched on. That's the funny thing.
Like, the thing is, I watch people play Cuphead. I try not to watch the people with commentary, because when they rage, I can't do that. I can't do that at all. So, I would watch people play, and in my head I'm thinking, I could get through this game pretty damn easily, just with cramped thumbs. But I know that's not true. Because I thought the same thing about Warframe, and nah, I'm terrible. But
go back to the scale up a wall.
But the problem is, Cuphead is a beautifully made game. It's very tricky. Also, people on YouTube, I'm sorry for any buffering that might be going on. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's very tricky to play. You have to keep your eye on everything that's moving, up and down, diagonal, side to side, and it's all happening at the exact same time. It's a beautifully made game, made with like the same style and methods as like 1920s to 1930s cartoons, like Mickey Mouse or Looney Tunes even. But from what I remember, everybody just chat on it because it was so difficult.
That's perfect. That's a good way of saying it.
Like, these beautifully made games that that like you have watched people build up. You've seen this game from start to finish, and you know that it's a great game. You've tried it maybe. But then, like, a journalist who doesn't know how to play a video game properly, but is great at writing a journal, like an entry about something they don't know, and put a bad review on it, plays the game and immediately throws it into the trash. And this trash throwing latches onto anybody that wants to play it and pulls them into the trash as well, so they'd never touch it again.
Exactly. And the best way to describe it, sorry, I've Apologies, I just had a burger.
We're all eating here. Like, this is why I love live streaming more than recording, because you guys get to see into our real life. Keep going.
Yes, but anyway, now that my mouth is not, it's burnt. But a perfect example of this again is that whole Sekiro thing and what happened with the journalists bitching about it. You want to hear something absolutely disgusting? Like what they did. These journalists said the game was too difficult and tried to use crippled people as a way to discourage the difficulty by saying, "Oh, it's so hard. But imagine if this one guy with no arms can't play the game because it's too hard." That's exactly what they did.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I wish I was joking. They did that, and to make matters worse, now you know what's funny? After that happens, quadriplegic beats the game.
Okay.
Suck it.
Okay. So you know that TV channel G-Force or G4? It was like all about video games. Yeah. And then it suddenly got like replaced by yet another fucking Christian channel. Anyway, there was an episode, I think it was like X-Play or something, and they had a blind guy come onto the show and play Mortal Kombat. And I'm talking like one of the Mortal Kombats that was like really frustrating to play. Because of like how easy you could counter and kill somebody. He played the game, like a blind guy played the game and kicked the ass of all of these journalists who are actually gamers. He's a blind guy and he did this so easily. Like, this is something that pains me to this day, knowing that G4 was replaced by another fucking Christian channel. And like everybody who was on that channel were not only like game journalists, they were hardcore gamers. They could play. And they gave their honest reviews every time.
Yeah, and that same guy I mentioned, lauded for being so impressive. No. The journal, right? You know how he couldn't beat the game in time to get his review out. And he cheated to get it done. Yeah, let that sink in. The fucker cheated his way to get it finished. And then immediately began to bash the game for it. And this is what disgusts me. This is what pisses me off, because the journalists they're not gamers. They don't care about the game. They use these platforms to bitch and moan about other things that really don't matter. You know, like they'll make it political for no reason whatsoever. And they'll start saying dumb shit, or they'll want a game to change because, oh, it's so insensitive to this, and all my personal shit. It's like, motherfucker, the game was not meant for you. Stop trying to make it for you. And it pisses me off. It legitimately gets me angry and riled up when these morons decide to jump in and start bashing anything their way. Because why not? It's like, you know, they think we're idiots. They think we're idiots and that we can be easily swayed to do whatever, to jump and sing to their tune. No, nobody cares. The only reason why you're being paid is because no one else cares about you. You're being paid and employed by a dying outlet. Everybody else who wants like a review or an honest coverage of a game usually goes on YouTube and just looks it up themselves. You're obsolete. You're gone. You're done. Nobody cares. Like, perfect example. If you want like unbiased, really in-depth reviews, you go to Some Call Me Johnny. The guy goes through the game twice and then says, yeah, you know what? This, and this. That's what he does.
Yeah, LT, I miss G4 as well. My favorite show on G4 was X-Play and Cheat. Like, not just because like Cheat gives you cheat codes that will actually help you get like secret stuff. Like, you know how in the Xbox era and stuff like that, you had to use cheat codes to find these little things that were scattered all over these immense worlds and were just a pain in the ass to go out of your way to get.
Yeah, like the collectathons of old.
Yeah. Cheat also showed you where things were hidden and little Easter eggs of games. Like, I believe there was a game that came out a long time ago, and one of the Easter eggs was an homage to one of the developers who had passed away during the creation of this game. But it was like, it's like a... I don't remember what game it was. I want to say it was Psychonauts, but I don't think that's right. I just remember that, like, you know, you had to go somewhere, turn right, go into first-person mode, slowly pan your camera up, and you would see, like, I guess either in the sky or on a billboard, you would see a very nice homage to this person who had passed away. It's like, this game has been out for a while, and nobody ever knew that.
Exactly, and that's what these games journalists should be. People who love the game and will go out of their way to find the little secrets and nuances and say, hey, look here, and yada, yada, yada. That's what they should be. But instead, they're just, like I said, activists who are pissed off at the world and just want to make the world a worse place. It's just like this nonsense with... a perfect example is like Persona 4, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or one... what was it, Catherine? I don't know. But basically, in one of these Shin Megami Tensei games, and I know I butchered that, by the way, I'm sorry. I don't speak Japanese. Kind of wish I did, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
I only know how to swear.
Wow.
That's how you. That's like
that
is the fastest way for you to learn a language. Just learn how to cuss.
And then the rest comes naturally.
Like, I've actually walked through my my house saying Japanese words, and nobody knows I'm saying swear words. So, like, my brother asked me, so what was that word you just said? I'll repeat it. He goes, okay, so what does that mean? I said, you're beautiful. He says, okay. He's like seeing a girl with a little kid, so he'll say that to the little kid.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I think I know, like, I think I know, like, a Japanese word for, like, penis or something like that. Imagine saying that in front of them.
I know how to say bastard.
Oh, how do you say it?
Kesama.
Kesama?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's been a long time since I've heard that, because that was, like, from a Naruto movie.
Jesus. Now, the perfect way to learn Japanese is, you know, watch the original, like, Japanese language, and then just try look for the last word in the sentence with, like, the sub, and then you'll get, like, a general idea of, like, okay, this word might mean this, and work from there. That's, like, the easiest way I think it could work.
Okay.
But
out of nowhere, I searched up, like, Japanese swear words. Guess what's a swear word?
What?
Yatsu.
Yes.
Guess what that means?
What?
Guy. Guy is a swear word. Why? Okay, here we go. Here's the good stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Kuso. That means fuck.
Yeah, I've heard that used before. Anyway.
I found slut.
I found slut. That sounds like you're some sort of demon hunter and you're looking for a sin. You say that in, like, the weirdest way possible. It's like, oh, I found slut. But anyway, what I was gonna get into is that in one of these Shin Megami Tensei games, I said it right that time. I believe one of one of the running gags of those games is always you've got the one guy who's trying to pick up chicks left and right? And I forget which game it is, but in one of them, they're trying to pick up women on a beach. Like, they're just playing it for shits and giggles, like a little competitive game amongst them. And then one of them, you know, picks up this, like, amazing, amazing, bombastic woman. And he's so happy and excited and everything. And then, like, I think it cuts to, like, later, and like he's got this defeated face and everything, and they're like, oh, what? And they're like, oh, what happened? And it turns out it was a dude. And for obvious, it's like, haha, you gotta. The obvious joke is, haha, he slept with a guy, kind of thing.
Mm.
And then you got another one. This one I know is from Catherine, in which one of the characters was a dude and is transitioning to a woman later in the game, or is one in the game later on, whatever, right? And one of the endings is asking sheep. There's a sheep god thing, but
Yeah, I remember all that sheep stuff.
but basically the ending is like, I believe the guy's name is Vince, and he's asking to have everything like just fixed, go back to normal, like implying that he doesn't want to ever meet either Catherine and just kind of like start his life anew. So the clock resets itself back to the end of their college days or something like that. And it's implied that they're just going to live their lives as they did before, but Vincent won't get with his girlfriend. That's kind of the idea, or from what I understood. However, in that the girl or the dude who was a girl, see, now I'm getting confused. The guy who becomes a girl is a guy again. And people misconstrued this as, oh, they're saying that being a transgender person's evil, but they're taking the point of this out of context. The point is that you've gone back in time and things are going to be different. It's not saying, oh, to fix this, we're making him a dude. No, that's not what they're saying. And even the director flat out said, no, that's not our intention, and it didn't happen. And yet, of course, the game's journals just took that story and started writing hit piece after hit piece trying to destroy Persona. And it's like, you stupid fucks. You colossal
It's like,
idiots.
I've only seen this on Tumblr, but it's like that episode of, what is it? I know that Chris Pratt is in it. I don't remember what the show is called.
The Office?
No, that's somebody else. That's got other people in it. I don't.
No, Chris Pratt was in. Chris Pratt is in one of the.
Yeah, but he's not in The Office.
The Office. I mean, like he's in a Office show.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called.
I keep wanting to say Home Development, but no, that's Tim Allen.
Tim Allen returns to TV in a big way. No.
Parks and Recreation. That was it. Parks and Recreation. Parks and Rec. There was an episode of that where they were doing like a big bake sale or something, and just a piece of shit in the crowd is yelling at them because like one of the guys is like carrying cookies and he's got like oven mitts on, he's got an apron, and the guy's like kind of blaming the girl that she's pressuring him to do this, and she says flat out, I can't cook worth shit, he volunteered to do this. He said, oh, so you're convincing him to do it, okay.
Oh yeah, okay,
just
hold on.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the show I was talking about. I remember what you were saying. It's like,
yeah, it's just like that is essentially what's going on here with like the guy that turned back into a dude. Yeah,
and it's heavily implied that he's still gotta go through with go through this whole thing again. The dude who becomes a woman, whatever you want to call it.
He's still gonna go through like the transition.
Yeah, and specifically because he loved one of the other guys in their little group. He actually loves him.
Yeah.
He doesn't go for dude, so he believes that, okay, I'll still get with him if I become a woman. That's it. It's entirely motivated by just wanting to be with this one guy.
That's not really a good way of representing a transgender person, but okay.
It doesn't matter because the point you know what I'm trying to say. There is no like ill.
There is no ill will towards like people who are transgender, or people who are gay or straight or anything like that.
Exactly. It's just, in terms of the story, he wants to become a chick again because he likes this other dude. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, like, nothing else to it. And the fact that these game journals bullshit, the re-release, just says how much they don't give a shit about you, about your product. They just want to push push something that doesn't need to be in the fucking game.
I mean, if you also want, like, the in-between, like, you want to see both the trash side and the good side, look at the Steam reviews, because they're hilarious.
Oh, Jesus. Can I just say I love Steam reviews specifically because sometimes people will make such funny things like uninstall works. All right, I think we've bashed this in far enough. I want to say before more people get pissed with us and like, oh, you don't care about. Just fuck off.
Okay, so I'm actually reading a Steam review. This is for Staxel, which we're going to talk about at the end of the show. Played it for 5 minutes. Accidentally placed a sign I got from a quest. Can't pick it back up to relocate to where I put the building. Quit. Never going to play again. This is awful. Can't pick it up because you don't have a hammer.
Oh no.
I'm actually a part of the Discord group, like the developer Discord. This game is going pretty well, but we're going to talk about that later.
No, one of my favorites is some of the Steam reviews for Steam. Remember when we covered Seed of the Dead?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Oh, God.
I saw some Steam reviews for that, and I was cracking up because, like, what was it? Someone said, yes, I had hoped that my life story would be turned into a game. And then someone responded with, so let me get this straight. You fought zombies, you fucked women, and then your head exploded.
Okay. Warframe review. Come play Quake Champions, Jesus.
Oh, you prick monkey.
Why do I keep closing Steam? Stop doing that. I want to see Ark's reviews now.
Alright.
But we should definitely move on.
But speaking of Steam, let's jump into the next point, and that is the big announcement. Halo coming to Steam's PC. No Epic exclusivity. Insert Halo, like the choir. When I heard about this, my first thing that...
Your what?
Oh, sorry. I said, when this came to... When the news about this coming to Steam happened, my immediate thought was, okay, how long before they start modding the ever-loving fuck out of this? Oh, yeah. How long till big head mode? Or reskins of the guns where it's all just pizza.
I bet they're going to do a red versus blue reference. You know it.
Those are already in the games, actually. The voice actors of Red versus Blue are actually in Halo 1, 4, and 5. They voice themselves, or they voice the characters, like Caboose and everything. Mm. Which I listen to.
You're cutting out again.
Why? Oh, how bad? Am I still fine?
Every second word.
Yeah, hold on. It's shuffling. Okay, there we go. And what I was saying was that my immediate thought was, okay, where's the sentient tank? When is that coming in? And when, if I get in my Warthog, will it start playing that weird music?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Steam reviews still.
Fair enough.
There's a positive review for Gmod, and it's only one word. Mm-hmm. Masturbate. It's a positive review! Ow, my shoulder.
But, yeah. But no, so if Halo's coming to Steam, what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna take a while, but it'll definitely go to workshop.
Okay.
I know it's already been done, but like we know that people who play with Gmod are probably gonna hop in to try and rip models out some more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I know that there are the Halo characters, the Spartans and all that, but not so much the aliens and everything else, like the enemies that you fight.
Well, it depends on where you look, really, because I can say this:
What?
models have been. What?
You cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said a lot of the Covenant models have been brought to Gmod. It's just a matter of looking for them. Yeah, but I think the only one that hasn't the Reach brutes, and those are really cool looking. But everything else is just it's there. The games that are coming they're part of the Master Chief Collection, which is what was it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4 Reach. Yeah, so 5 games on one disc. That was basically what the MCC was. And so with Steam, it's going to be the same thing. And you're buying all once. So yeah, go nuts. And that includes Halo 1 Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, 3, I believe ODST, Reach, and 4. 5 is not part of this bundle. Because nobody likes 5. And I really don't blame them.
Trying to remember which one that is.
Halo 5. It's the one that basically killed the franchise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of 4.
No, 4 was the, like, dangerous waters ahead.
Like
That 5
I
just
remember
killed
that
it.
when 4 came out, YouTube just exploded with content. Like, holy crap, it was everywhere.
And then it just kind of died off.
Mm-hmm. That was like right when G4 died.
Oof. Oh, the irony.
Kill the game, kill the channel.
But yeah, but that's basically what's coming to PC. It's all these amazing, and people are so excited for it. Like, people are just like exploding all over the place. Like, oh my god, oh my god. And it's like, part of me, I'm like, oh god, yes. Because despite what there are 2 Halo games for the PC right on Steam right now, but there are 2 that. Okay, so they're Halo, Spartan Assault, and Spartan Strike, and there are 2 Halo iPhone games.
Boo.
I have both. I bought them both for 99, and it's okay. It's a fun time waster, but at the same time, it's like kind of I want to be in first person, and I want to beat these things in the face, please, please. Yeah, but like I said, that's basically what's coming. I can see the modding potential. Just, my god, the future is intense. Halo, what is it? Halo 4 replacing the Elites with Halo 3 Elites or something like that. Because nobody likes the Halo 4 Elites. I mean, I don't mind them, as a subspecies. But a lot of people really don't like them. And I can't blame them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming. And now we need to... Halo.
What?
We need to enter the second topic of Halo here. And that is Yap Yap the Destroyer. Have you ever heard of this individual?
Nope.
My god. So, I'm going to get an image of him. Just so you see what we're dealing with here.
I don't know why, but my brain is like going somewhere else.
I'm half tempted to ask, like, where is it going?
Cruel's dragon form video.
La forma de draghi. Dark Souls do it.
It's just like all romantic, and then the third one shows up.
Screaming.
It's because I'm looking through Gmod's workshop and I found the dragon thing.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. So, hold on, it's loading. Okay, that's Yap Yap.
Oh gods, that thing?
Yes. This is the Destroyer.
What the hell? Do I want to know the context?
Yeah. So basically, Halo Wars 2 has you fighting the Banished, which are like the Covenant splinter faction, but very dangerous, very powerful. Yap Yap is a grunt within the Banished that has broken off and believes himself to be the ruler of all grunts because a jackal fortune teller into believing that the fabled the grunt version of El Dorado exists on the Ark.
What the fuck?
Exactly. And so he has started his own rebellion against the Banished and is known as Yap Yap, capital letters, the Destroyer. He believes in some sort of mini god. The ego on him is hilarious. And his units are hilarious, by the way. Like I'm gonna look for them just so you can see. By the way, they're all grunt focused too. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah. So these are all his units he has for the game. Which, by the way, Halo Wars 2 is like StarCraft. It's an RTS. So that's the methane wagon, which explodes because of methane. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. Then you have the Brute Riders, which are just grunts riding brutes.
It's like a goblin riding on an ogre.
Funny you mentioned Goblin.
Oh god.
And lastly, we have their version of the grunt, Goblin.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
What the?
Look at the front one's left foot.
Andy.
Yep. Oh, I love that reference.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. I'm saving these and showing them.
Yeah, and of course, like all of Yap Yap like units are just pathetically ridiculous. The only menacing are his heavy grunts.
You're cutting out again.
Sorry, hold on. His only menacing units are the heavy.
Part,
Oh, yeah, but I said they don't. That's not saying.
Is it just me, or do like the grunts look a bit like Bionicle masks?
I can see it.
I'm just like so used to that that design.
No, I see what you mean. No, but I have one important question for these grunts. Where are your pants? It's like everything else is covered except no pants.
Oh, what
Why?
the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, well, why do you have no pants? There are so many questions. No, but so the reason why I bring up Yap Yap is specifically because when the Halo PC announcement happened, Yap Yap took over the forums and began posting just self congratulating shit on the forums. Yeah, I'm actually find it just so like it's so stupid. Like I think it's one of actually wait I'll go and I'll look for that. Hold on, if it's not too like far. And let's see here, but hold on, looking. Nearly there. What do you mean 5 months back? Ah, found it. Yeah, so this is part of the Halo Waypoint stuff. And what happened was that Yap Yap oh, hold on. Oh no, they got rid of it. Well, that sucks. Oh well. Oh, so it was part of an April Fool. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. It was funny, and it's like, no, fuck you now. Oh well. Basically, what happened was that Yap Yap got into the forums and started, like I said, self-congratulating and doing all that kind of just dumb shit. And then at some point oh god, what is it? At some in the posting, he explained how he was chosen by the gods by gathering a lot of technology and then just throwing plasma grenades on it in an attempt to turn it on. Yeah, let that sink in for a second, by the way. And but wait, it was also so these Forerunner things appear playing, and then during the bid they ask, what do you most desire? And then he tells them, Yap Yap is best. And so they make it so. By the way, this was the image they created for that community update. Thank you. The Master Chief Collection just removed. His best collection.
So there's a D&D group that I watch when I'm bored. And their druid has a habit of graffitiing in like his own language that nobody else can read. Drez was here. This is from Wanderbots, by the way. And he kept doing this over and over and over. And then finally, like, more, I say it's recent episodes, it's actually been like maybe a year or two. Some enemy druids captured him and demanded to know why the hell he started murdering their own people and putting Drez was here over their corpses. Like, that's how they found him, because he kept doing that.
It's like a map.
Like, at one point the paladin did it, but he did it in, like, it's like really shitty crayon style. It's all crap and carved into the wall. It says Greg was here. It's really poorly spelled.
Greg was here.
Because he's a bugbear. He's a hairy goblin.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's Yap Yap. He has quickly become my favorite grunt. because of his little ego. Ah, man. Needless to say, people want to see him in the next Halo game, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's have him. Let's have fun. Ah, man. But yeah, so Halo coming to the PC.
There's
Modding
gonna
potential
be
is high.
so many compilations about Yap Yap.
A Yap Yap mod, yes. That would be hilarious. And you know they're just gonna do some vulgar shit too. Like, let's turn all. Yeah. I don't care. It doesn't make any sense. We're doing it. That would be funny. But yeah, so that covers the Halo coming to PC.
We're
Moving
excited.
right along.
Well, he's excited. I could care less.
I'm just too goddamn it. I just want to see the dumb modding potential here.
Somebody's gonna put like sexy dead or alive women as the alien.
You know they're gonna do that.
Like they did it with Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. You can replace all the survivors with like bikini ladies, and all the zombies with Minecraft or Teletubbies.
Oh,
not the Teletubbies.
and you know they're gonna do something similar for. You just know it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think.
Same. I want to see these dumb mods. I just want to laugh. Alright, so we're moving into Godzilla now.
Yay!
Any of that get her excited?
Oh man, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, so a bit ago, more things came out for the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
I believe it was called the Beautiful trailer, I think it's called.
I don't know. I haven't really been watching any of the trailers because I want to be surprised.
I've seen them on and off. Like, just snippets. Not enough to get, like, the general story, but enough to see, like, okay, what to expect. And it looks like they learned a bit from the first Godzilla movie.
Not have it be so fucking dark.
No, like, actually have the monsters fight more often instead of so sparsely.
Yeah.
So there's that. Like, I saw a brief scene of, I think it was Godzilla, like, head dropping two of Ghidorah's head at one time. Which, again, I was like, wow, impressive. And there was more scenes with Rodan showing that a part of the movie, not like, oh, it's going to a few seconds. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I've seen the wings and everything of Rodan, and it just looks like, as it flies, it looks like it's on fire all the time, and like things are just burning around it.
Rodan has a volcanic rock substance for his skin, so he is always radiating immense heat.
Oh yeah, and it shows it in the snippets. Like, there's a scene, I believe, where I think it's like aircraft trying to shoot him down.
Yeah, I'm watching the newest trailer.
Okay.
Wow, a person actually managed to touch Godzilla on the nose.
Boop. You know someone's gonna edit that.
That's what they did.
You know someone's gonna edit that.
Boop. So okay, like, it's gonna do the rubber duck squeak.
Pretty much. But yeah, like I said,
why are they using a stealth bomber against Rodan?
I don't think it is a stealth bomber.
Oh no, it is. It is.
No. I mean, for the film's sake, it's more like, I believe this is like the mobile command thing they're trying to do. Yeah, because I'm looking at a GIF, just examining it. It's not a stealth. It doesn't look to be a stealth bomber. It really does have like design. Hey, be doing that, that kind of shit.
At least it's not like the Avengers. Avengers can go to hell. I'm sorry, but no, I'm tired. No more Marvel. I'm done. By the way, my brother and I have these tickets to allow us to see one movie of our choice for free. We're gonna go see Godzilla together.
Yeah.
So, personally, I'm relying on people to shut the fuck up when this movie comes out.
Did you know that this is like that?
Just so people are aware, like, I am the Godzilla expert in any group I'm in.
Yeah, I will say this: the size of Rodan is just like, oh,
yeah,
it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
in his reincarnation in the 1990s, he actually grew from his original size, because his original size was tiny compared to Godzilla. It was like, for human comparison, it's like a human standing next to a bald eagle.
I'm sorry.
The redhead. I love Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
But in like the 1990s, his size grew to be the comparison of a human to a condor. So that is absolutely enormous, because a baby condor is like the size of a toddler or bigger.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm looking as well as some more detailed images. Yeah, she really is just. It's the same design for the head and everything. It's just the body's different. So.
Are you looking at Mothra?
Yeah, like she still has the same head. Her body's more designed to look like a larger moth. That's basically what it is.
There's not really much you can do with Mothra.
Well, it's a moth.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do to begin with.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, Mothra is such, like, an important character for Godzilla, just in general. Because she even had her own movie that came out not long, either before or after Godzilla. Either way.
I think it was after. Because I remember. Well, what was it?
Let me see.
Had what was it? Biolante releasing the spores, and then that kind of cuts into.
No. I'm talking like the first. Okay. The Mothra had her own movie itself in 1961. Oh. She came out after Godzilla. Okay, but Mothra in her set, like as a whole, is very important to the Japanese. It's very important to Toho. Yes, Godzilla to the Japanese is a symbol of like the nightmare of dropping the bombs and like the horror of what could happen, and just like the destruction it caused. Mothra is the opposite spectrum of that. She is the Earth itself. And we see this every day. The Earth is like being destroyed for our survival over and over and over. That's what she does. She dies in every single movie of hers because that's what she's meant to do.
And then come back.
A lot of gatekeepers, quote unquote, gatekeepers of Godzilla, when they meet somebody who doesn't understand why Mothra dies so much and all this shit, their immediate response is, it's the symbolism, bro. You wouldn't understand. It's like that kind of bullshit. There is symbolism, heavy symbolism in Godzilla, but you don't have to understand it to enjoy the movie. Like, that's not an important thing. All in all, to get back to my point here, because I do love Godzilla as a whole, there's really not much you can change with Mothra. Because the Godzilla franchise does not belong to the USA. It belongs to Toho. So all of these designs for these monsters, they had to pass it by Toho first.
Yeah, and judging by the head
yeah. Mothra is actually pretty damn powerful for a moth. Like, she might die in every single movie she's in, but cut her some credit and some slack. She's really powerful.
Yeah, and again, she doesn't look like a caterpillar, spring-loaded.
You're cutting out really bad. I didn't understand any of that.
Hold on. I said Mothra in this looks, she doesn't look like the caterpillar moth we're all used to,
Yeah,
obviously, but she looks more in line with like a spring moth or any other of the more long-legged moth species out there.
yeah, yeah.
And that's basically what these what is this, Lionsgate? Is that what the company that's making these
Legendary.
movies? Okay, and that's what these the legend about. They're more about taking the monsters and giving them a more um, I guess like animalistic, realistic design to them, but still keeping aspects and traits to the originals. You still got Godzilla with the atomic breath and the blue scaling. You got Rodan, who's a living fire bird. You got Ghidorah, who's still three-headed gold dragon for some reason, and you got Mothra.
With with this version, with this ver- with Legendary Godzilla, like this is actually this is the thing about Godzilla. They actually categorize it by the era and stuff like that. So Millennial, Shin actually has his own category, and then you have Legendary, which is what we have, the big guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still amazed they managed to find a way to get a three-headed dragon to be a thing, if they're going for realism. Anyway, when we saw the first Godzilla movie, 2014, all that jazz,
Mm-hmm.
the Mutos are arachnids. They're spiders. But they don't look like spiders at all. One of them has wings. Looks like a moth, but he is very much an arachnid. The female is on the ground. She's absolutely enormous. She is also an arachnid. With Mothra, she came from the same era as these spiders. If the spiders looked like that, there is no way that Mothra is going to look like the ones we have today. She's going to be drastically different.
Yeah, more spindly. More spindly, as it is.
I saw in the trailer, she has very sharp hooks for feet.
Yeah.
And bioluminescence. She is definitely a nighttime predator. I don't think she's a vegetarian.
That doesn't look like it. Again, it's.
Which actually kind of makes sense. I believe it's in Italy or something. There is a moth or butterfly that is vampiric. It prefers blood and meat over nectar. Like, nectar is its last resort. So she is definitely a carnivorous-based moth.
Just checking, just to be sure. Because I've heard. Oh, god damn it! I think I. No, fuck you. Let's see. Here. Yeah, they exist.
Yeah.
Let's see. Checking just to be sure where this is from.
That show on Animal Planet, The Most Extreme, that people just seem to love because of how weird they model things. It showed a butterfly or moth feasting happily on a bull carcass. Bull carcass. I can't say that.
Okay.
Why can't I say that? Bull carcass. There we go.
Here we are. So these particular moths are native to Japan, Korea, south of China, and Malaysia. So, if anything, this Mothra is likely based off of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this, even the Mutos look like they would fit in a regular Godzilla.
Yeah.
When you really look at them.
With the original Mothra, you have to remember, Mothra was created in the 60s. Like, back then, we thought Tyrannosaurus Rex walked upright like a person in a rubber suit. And then you look at them now, it's like, no, that is not what that's like at all.
No, they bend.
Oh yeah. They're more like birds. So it would make sense that Mothra would evolve as well. because back then she looked like a moth that we would see in everyday life, just granted enormous for some weird reason. For this one, she's coming from an era well before the dinosaurs, where everything is radioactive and burning and just absolute hell.
Yes.
Uh,
which speaking of all this, by the way, it's being heavily hinted at that in this, what's it called? In this series, like this whole monster universe thing they're making right now, it's been made very clear that the Earth is hollow. So there's a good chance that all these animals are actually coming up from the basin of the Earth itself, where there could be more. Isn't that exciting?
mm-hmm.
Woo! Just
Yay.
So happy. It's like, yee! Yeesh! So yeah. But like I said, it's all coming together. I have skeptical and I was uninterested in the 2014 movie. Fuck it up somehow. I just know it. I was wrong. And I've never been more happy to be wrong in my life. And given what we've seen of this movie and how everyone's doing things, I have no reason to assume that it won't be anything. It won't be anything short of what we got from the 2014 movie, except with improvements.
Yeah.
Like in camera, acting, and monster fights. That's right.
I'm just hoping that it's not as dark as 2014 was.
From what we've seen of the trailers and everything, it doesn't
well
be
lit.
the case.
It's definitely well lit.
Yeah, so we can actually see shit.
I have a really, really nice flat screen TV in my room. Spoiled! Not really. It is HD, it's really good. Even with my lights off, I could not see what was happening. I watched the movie downstairs, which is actually right above me, in the living room on our giant TV, which is absolutely enormous, but very old. I still could barely see anything, even with the lights off and it being dark outside. I went and saw it in theaters. It was lit very well. Comes out in DVD. No.
So poor.
Mm-hmm.
No, to be. Well, I want to ask this question though before we.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the did its job compared to 14?
Yes.
Okay.
This Shin Godzilla is terrifying. It's not a movie I would watch a second time, to be honest. But in all intents and purposes, it is Godzilla. The first ever Godzilla film was terrifying. It was just a rubber puppet. But it was scary. It was very serious. A giant monster that the military can't stop, irradiates a city, destroys it, and then gets killed. In Shin...
Killed in quotation.
Yeah,
that one's
I got it. With Shin Godzilla, he is absolutely terrifying. He's a giant monster the military can't stop. He irradiates half a country and a lot of the ocean and destroys a city. And he gets stopped. We don't know if he's dead or not. That's not really been confirmed. But all in all, it's Godzilla. What they focus heavily on is the fact that he is highly radioactive and very destructive. They don't know why he's doing this. Even in the original movie, nobody knew why he was doing this. He just did.
Mm.
And all the while, he's leaving destruction and death in his wake. I wouldn't call it horror for Shin Godzilla. I would say it's more of a, It's something that you kind of feel a little sorry for the people in the movie. And you feel a little concerned for them, but you're not scared.
Exactly. It's more... It's a difficult thing to really call it.
It's a difficult thing to categorize, too.
exactly. It has horror elements with certain things. Like what is it? You know, like the creatures that spawn from the tail, its disturbing appearance, that kind of thing.
Uh,
But go
how
ahead.
this Godzilla acts compared to a previous incarnation is just how he looks. He's all shriveled and corpsey, and then his jaw splits.
Maybe.
And also, let's not forget the scene where they find a piece of the monster, and it's already starting to grow eyes and teeth.
Yeah. And again, I have no problem with the movie. I think it's fine on its
Mm-hmm.
own. It's just I lack something. That's it. It's this nagging feeling in the back of my head that says there's something missing here, and I can't put my finger on it.
Every time there's a reincarnation of Godzilla, like 1985 is like a great example, because 1985 is basically like a repeat of both Shin and the first one. He's a giant monster who shows up, military can't stop him, and he destroys the city. But in that one, he gets knocked into a volcano and shows up a couple of years later. By the way, the scream he makes when he falls in that volcano is very haunting. But when it's not a movie I'd really care to watch. Cause yeah, it's embodying the first Godzilla, but even the first Godzilla had something to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like this movie, it feels like it feels like a god feels hollow. Like it's there. It says a purpose. It says a message. But
I got it.
what?
This is going back to reincarnations of Godzilla. Godzilla 2000 is a reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the same thing, destroys the city, shit, and all that shit. And while he does fight an alien in that one, he has personality.
Mm.
In the first Godzilla film, he had a personality. Like, the song from Blue Oyster Cult, which I absolutely love, by the way. And I recognize what movie the Japanese is coming from. It's from Godzilla vs. King Kong. In the first movie, while it is scary, he's actually kind of goofy. He picks up a train that has people in it, looks at them, he puts it in his mouth for no reason, shakes it about, and then drops it. He pushes over power lines. He breathes fire on water.
For some reason.
He steps on cars. He has a personality. He's still a very derpy thing. Godzilla 1985 comes out. He's got no personality. Like, even his expression is very, like, eyebrows down, just very gruff.
Very angry.
Yeah. But he has no personality. When he first shows up, he pops out of the water, just robotically marches to a power plant, grabs the energy core, absorbs it, birds fly overhead, he follows the birds, and he leaves. Big scene comes up, he comes out of the water, he robotically walks into the city, he gets attacked by the military, he shoots the military. He just stands around, like, doing nothing. The only time he has personality is when the military thinks that they are killing him. Like, you know the Super X?
Yeah.
They're shooting missiles into his mouth. And, like, he roars. Like, he keeps falling for it. It's almost, like, pathetic that he keeps falling for it. Because every time he roars, they shoot into his mouth, and he doesn't learn by the third roar. In a row, by the way. But, like, when he first gets hit in the mouth, he slows down, and you hear his heartbeat. What the fuck? That's not how that works. Second time he gets hit, he starts to be a little slower. Third time it hits, he topples into a building. That is the only time he has personality. Correction, that's the first time he has personality. Second time is when he gets knocked into the volcano. what they learned in that movie is that Godzilla follows the birds because it's by instinct he wants to migrate. So they use a frequency, that of birds, to lure him to the volcano. He's very dumb, by the way. They lure him to the volcano. They set off mines at his feet, which knocks him a little further into the volcano. And then they blast the wall behind him, pushing him in, and he screams as he falls. And the entire time he's like doing all this, he's just standing there roaring, not doing anything. He's just standing there.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Just like anything. It's just there.
There is no personality to him. Like, in Godzilla 2000, which is my favorite movie, it's the one that really got me into the movies, other than the New York one that people don't seem to like. I really love that one. He shows up, but his first appearance of showing up, he has a fishing boat in his mouth, and looking at the top part. Well, yeah, he's looking at a lighthouse on top of a cliff. He's looking into the front window. That also reminds you, he's very big. They have a Jurassic Park reference where he snorts on a car. They have a moment where he steps through a tunnel in the mountains trying to crush the said car. The entire sequence of him first showing up is beautiful, by the way. I'm going to be talking about this for a while. It's beautiful, by the way. Just like the backlighting is bright freaking red. You can hear people running and screaming. You got like fire trucks going everywhere. And I've been trying to find the moment that my ex used to talk about all the time. But there was a goof in the movie where at one point Godzilla moves a little too fast and the people running away from him are actually chasing him. I don't know what part that is, and he keeps telling me this, and I'm like, okay, what part? And he doesn't reply. But just in his first sequence of showing up, going to the power plant, destroying it, he has a personality. While he is moving robotically, you can see there's something different about him. I think it also has to do with the people around him, but all in all, he's not lacking emotion. He is showing full emotion. When he destroys the power plant, he's thrashing around wildly. It looks like he's very serious, like he wants to destroy this. He doesn't know why he wants to destroy it, but he does. And my favorite part, when he shows up again, and this is like a part that I love thinking about and referencing in like really shitty role plays and stuff like that, is it's a very, very famous scene for Godzilla. It's when the military are using missiles that can pierce his skin and like blow chunks of him off. Before that, when he's walking towards the power plant, some helicopters are shooting him point blank in the face with missiles, and he's just ignoring it. After like the 6th or 7th one hits him in the face, he stops and he turns to look at them, and he finally starts following them. Like, it took 7 missiles to the fucking face to realize he was being hit. And I loved that. Like, he's aware that he's pretty tough, but after a while, you know, when you got a fly buzzing near your face, you're gonna focus on it.
Pretty much, exactly. And like I said, it's very telling. Mm-hmm. And to be frank, with Shin Godzilla, to kind of put us on the focus here, the monster it's just there. It lacks, not even, I don't even want to say motivation, because what motivation do you need as a giant monster?
We already know that it's not lacking intelligence.
Exactly, but what it's lacking is purpose. Why is this thing here? What is it doing? What is it like? Yada yada yada. Like, there is plenty of mystery to try and figure out. Ooh, scary, that kind of thing. That's fine. But like, compared with every other Godzilla monster out there, from Ghidorah to the smallest creature, they all have a purpose. They all have a reason in nature to act the way they do. Shin just is there. There is no You know, it's like you see those gigantic dead fish eyes, and you don't get the sense of, oh, it's so menacing. You kind of get the sense
Mm.
retarded. It's stupid. That's what you kind of get
Like,
from
you
it.
especially get that with his two previous forms, is how they're looking off to different directions.
Exactly. Very, very derpy.
The
And you're just kind of
only
sitting there like, okay.
the only time, because I actually saw this movie with my dad, the only time he ever shows personality in that film is when his back starts glowing and like he's still that young form. He looks back at his back, he roars and leaves, and that's it. Out of the
Yeah, because it
entire
realizes,
movie,
oh.
that is the only time.
Yeah. And I don't know. What I get this feeling that this movie was something else at some point, and then they just added Godzilla in at the last second. That's what I get from it.
I think this is what it always was, but like the story was different.
Mm.
Like they had the design, they had like what he was, but what they were gonna do with it was different.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
The biggest, like, to me, I think, and this is just a thought, I think they had intended this to be like someone's attempt at reincarnating a previous Godzilla, but it just went south so badly into what we saw here.
I think what they really wanted to do was just restart, like do yet another reincarnation, a remake of Godzilla. And in some ways it worked, in others people still prefer Legendary.
Yeah. I mean, because Legendary's Godzilla looks more like a living thing, whereas Shin just looks like the puppet again.
I still find it very stupid and also very funny that people don't like 2014 because he's fat. I'm sorry, but have you seen Heisei era? Have you seen the 1990s? He is so huge. His head is like a pinprick.
This has been the constant problem with Godzilla, and that is weird body proportions
no
in
joke.
every version.
The 1990s version literally had cankles.
Jesus.
Also, I love that image.
Oh yeah, it's too. You know,
What?
people are. I was saying it's two conflicting styles of the same creature, and it really does.
Yeah.
What do you prefer more? Do you prefer Satan or Animal?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I actually like Shin, just for the fact that it embodies the symbol of Godzilla. But if I had to choose an actual Godzilla, it would be 2014.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat. Like, I feel Shin was meant to be some other creature, like either a failed clone or something of that nature. That's what it screams to me. Like, failed, take over the world plan just went so
It's
wrong.
like, all these video games are coming out with, like, dinosaurs, and all the T-Rexes have feathers, except for Ark, thank God. But, and, like, also, we have all these movies coming out with feathered Tyrannosaurus Rexes. But then, like, you look at Jurassic Park, and you just have to sigh, like, oh, that's so good. Even though it's not accurate, Rexy looks so good without feathers.
Oh, I just thought of something. Do you know what a blood feather is?
I think no.
Basically, a blood feather is when a bird's feather breaks at the wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually thinking, if dinosaurs had feathers, do you think more of them died from them?
Very likely.
Something to consider.
There's a blog I would watch on I follow on Tumblr. Their beautiful Indian ringneck parrot had that issue to the point where they had to chop off his wings. Because the blood feather issue was like on the inside of his wings, like where our armpit would be.
Exactly, that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, something to consider if dinosaurs feathers and stuff. We'll like to see that in a movie.
But the focus is, Shin Godzilla is good. Is a good Godzilla for the symbolism, like for everything that Godzilla embodies. 2014
Exactly.
is a great Godzilla for everything Godzilla is. He's a giant monster that walks through a city fighting a monster, and we don't really know why he protects us or destroys our cities at the same time. We don't know why. He just does.
I've always assumed the city destruction is just something that can't be avoided due to his size. I've always taken it like that.
There's actually like a post on Tumblr that compares the Mutos to Godzilla, and for the Mutos, just a female going like, fuck this, fuck that, destroy this, fuck this, just like destroying everything. And then with Godzilla, he's like very carefully shuffling between the buildings, like a teacher shuffling between the desks. They're too close together.
Exactly.
And like he actually knocks it over the building, he'll stop and he'll go, I am so sorry, but I gotta go over there. And he just shuffles away. And he's so uncomfortable about it.
Exactly. That's what I view it as. Like doesn't
like Godzilla
buildings when he's
tries not to destroy everything, because it's even pointed out in 2014. In every other iteration of Godzilla, he would happily destroy those battleships just because they're there. But 2014, he goes out of his way not to hit them because they're not a threat to him. He knows they're not a threat.
Exactly. His goal is, I need to eat. That's it. That's the best way to describe it. Whereas Shin is, you see the city? Fuck this place.
I remember.
I'm gonna burn it down.
I remember they did a 3D model of what if the first Godzilla attacked Tokyo now, and he's absolutely tiny compared to the buildings. But yeah, I am starting to lose my voice over this.
It's fine. So again, we've kind of covered a true Godzilla topic. We could do more Godzilla in the future. I think this could be our niche. Like have an entire section or something dedicated to maybe one creature or something crazy like that. I mean, we've got plenty of a backlog to do that.
Oh yeah.
Almost like 40 or 60 years worth of back catalog. Before I forget, actually, did you see the animation, the Godzilla animation someone made, in which they brought back a lot of the like cut monsters and concept creatures?
I want to say, oh, that's evil. I want to say yes. Oh no.
When this is done, I'll show you, because it's like, it's silly, it's stupid, but a lot of the creatures look pretty impressive.
Somebody drew a very graphic image of Shin Godzilla versus the Evas.
I'm sorry.
Poor head. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Have you seen Evangelion? That is nothing. Speaking of which, did you know that somewhere in Japan there's an arcade, right? An Evangelion arcade machine thing.
Mm-hmm.
In which you're actually inside the cockpit and are piloting the thing from first person point of view.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. I've seen it. And my immediate thought was, oh my god, these 4 kids. So much sympathy towards Shinji now. I would not want to go back in that.
So there is like I want to say it's an arcade game. It's like a universal ride where you shoot the enemies around you on a ride thing. Or simulator.
Yeah, one of those.
And it is Shin Godzilla. You're a guy in a helicopter. And if I know anything about that movie, you're not gonna last very long.
Just get beamed down. It's like,
there is a video of it out there. But all in all, you're watching the city be destroyed around you, and you're nearly getting hit every time. And like, I feel so sorry for the people that play that.
Again, we should like cover these games.
I kind of want to replace Pokemon of the Month with a Kaiju of the Month.
Hey, if you want to do it,
but it wouldn't last too long. Because all I'm ever going to say, Godzilla 2000, over and over.
And then that's where I come in and say, but what about...
No. I would... Like, the thing is, would I be focusing on strictly Godzilla, strictly Gamera, or both? That's the thing.
Why not both? It's like, why not both?
I don't know as much about Gamera as I do Godzilla, though.
Then for both,
What?
learning experience for both of us.
Yeah.
It's
I only have one
shit.
thing to say to finish off the Godzilla thing.
Yes.
Shin looks like a shriveled penis. Like, I am not the only one who sees it, right?
What was it? Insert the that's a penis meme here. Oh, it's the sad truth.
It does! It looks like one! Welcome to Live Random Talk, people, where we compare a giant kaiju to a penis. And we're happy about it! I am very serious about Godzilla.
Yeah, fair enough. It's fine, it's fine.
Oh my god.
Alright. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I can't
Okay,
wait
so
to see this movie.
yeah, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 more things to cover. Should we go into the dev stream and then call a break? Or do you want to call a break now?
I would like to do a break right now. I don't know if the dog's been let outside right now or not. Plus, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Alright, then we'll take a short break and then.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yep. All right, guys, just me and you. We'll be right back. The intro music is gonna play on repeat until we get back. If you don't want to listen to that, that's fine. Just mute and tab away. We'll see you when we get back. I'm already back. I have a Roomba going on in the kitchen, which is above/behind me. Just waiting on Rev in the meantime. How has everybody's day been, by the way? I'm curious to know. Let me move us back over to the intro. Hide that for now. I've actually never drawn a face like this before. Don't mind me. Who is watching? Restream doesn't tell me. Yeah, by the way, people, we're live. I think just for everybody's entertainment purposes, I'm gonna hide that. There we go. Now you guys actually have something to watch while we wait for Rev. Nope, not saving. Usually by the time I start showing that I'm drawing in the background, Rev shows up. So this will be interesting. Oh, I'm proven right.
What?
I literally just said before you... I can hear myself.
I have no idea why that's happening.
I literally just said before you joined in, every time I start showing that I am drawing in the background, Rev just magically appears and there you are.
I'm purpose. It's apparently some weird superpower ability to drop in when no one expects it. Because anyway, so yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again.
Yep,
we left off. We left off Godzilla, so we are going into the dev stream.
Yeah.
And this is where my connection is going to go. Every time I look up the dev stream, it just destroys my connection. Hopefully, it doesn't do that. But I'm not saving my breath for that.
Yeah.
Alright, so last week, or roughly last week, the dev stream 126 came out.
Woohoo. I saw it. I wasn't in the chat when it was live, but I saw it afterwards. Because they stream that like right when I get up in the morning.
Okay, I think my connection's stable. So much sunlight. So yeah, that's out news. Yeah, so the Plains of Eidolon the remaster has just come out. What do you think?
It's amazing looking. Like, I've actually not played on the Plains of Ylon for a while since Fortuna came out, and I kept getting lost on the previous version. Like, I noticed very quickly just how tiny it was.
Oh yeah, I think everyone did when they realized, hey, we can go bigger.
Oh yeah. Like, even back when it first released, like, you realize, oh, this is not very big, but in Warcraft terms, it was pretty damn big for an open world. Fortuna comes out and you're like, nope, we're never going back to the plains. This is so much better.
Yeah, because it's bigger and more to do.
Yeah. With the remake of the plains, it feels so much bigger than it was before.
It feels lived in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I enjoy going to the plains now. I'll roam around invisible the entire freaking time because there are so many scouts now. But I actually like going to the plains. I still get lost, but I like it.
Here's the funny thing. When I went into the plains, my immediate thought was, this is what Fallout 76 was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Just a lot of nature and just debris in random places.
Yeah.
No. I like the Plains remaster. It's quite interesting. I like places. The whole place feels more lived in, and there's like more props everywhere, like Grenier encampment, like mini Grenier encampments, and it makes me think, okay, this is just a recently set up controller, just things of that nature. I have not encountered any of the thumper tanks though.
I've encountered quite a few. We've killed quite a few.
How did you get them to spawn?
You go up to the higher elevations. They just pop out of the ground.
I went up there several times. Nothing.
You gotta be on the plains. You gotta be on the plains for a while and just roam around. It's not like an instant thing.
Oh no, I was there for a whole hour and nothing happened. And I was just sitting there like, the fuck am I doing?
Wow, I have all the luck then. Just don't let the thumpers anywhere near water or the barrier, because if it touches the water, it just disappears.
And I can imagine why.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see some stationary thumpers, though, when I was heading out somewhere.
Oh, yeah, those have always been there.
Yeah, well, these are like, well, that's the thing, they're more updated, like with more detail and things. Yeah. To look like they're like the other thumpers, but they're like offline for now. So there's that. I like the Plains remaster, and I hope for more. I should also mention this is that since the whole DE versus a YouTuber incident has occurred, DE has decided to start updating a lot of things for the community. And one of them is, you remember a while ago, way back in the day, when I said I had an issue with some of their YouTubers, like DK Diamantis and A Gay Guy Plays, and people like that?
Yeah.
Well, someone else finally had enough of that, and they made a video kind of exposing a lot of the toxic players of the community. And I'm not saying like toxic, like, oh, they make a rape joke and, oh, no everything's... No, it's more like toxic as in they abuse their power, and that's basically what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, the community's on the guy's side. DE kind of, they had the typical knee-jerk reaction whenever someone has to tell them, look, you're doing something wrong or something, the typical thing. And after a few days of cooling down, cooler heads prevailed and all that stuff, DE's decided to disband a lot of things. They've relaunched an official Warframe Discord, removed the power-crazy individual within the original Discord, and they're now creating their own official one. Guides of the Lotus are being reworked into something better, and I think that basically a lot of the things the community's had an issue with is finally being dealt with. So there's that. So with that out of the way, let's keep going. The new Warframe has arrived. Wisp.
Well, not officially arrived, but we finally get to see
but
what
we
she
get her
can do.
powers. Right. So her first ability goes as follows. Oh, actually, passive, turns invisible when airborne. First ability, cycles between placing of reservoirs, which spawn a pickup that offers a duration-based buff. The buffs are not finalized, but in the demonstration, the red reservoir buffed health, the green buffed speed, blue offers a flat-out buff, and some additional zaps. The second ability is manifest a duplicate of yourself that travels in a straight line ahead of you when casting, drawing enemy fire, recasting recasting while what is it?
What?
Oh, I thought
I
you said
hiccuped.
something. Oh, okay. Recasting the ability while active will teleport you to the location of your duplicate and will cause radio stun on nearby enemies. So basically, like Loki's teleportation.
Yeah.
Third ability casts radio damage to emanate from all reservoirs, which woo. And finally, the last ability, sunlight.
Praise the sun.
Yeah, there's a game in Metal Gear Solid 4 called the Sunlight Gun.
Yeah.
My immediate thought was missed opportunity, DE, missed opportunity. But yeah. Fourth ability, harness the power of the sun and create a beam that increases incinerates enemies before her.
Hey, did you guys see the first ever photo of an actual black hole that's been circulating?
I know I know what that is.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Oh, it's clever, is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it destroys everything except cleaning drones.
I saw that.
I saw that, and my immediate thought was, "Praise be the cleaning drone."
We have a new deity.
And that, and the Metools from Mega Man. You know, the little helmet guys.
I don't know.
They were these little robots, like just a head with feet, and had a yellow helmet. And when they opened up, you could only see the eyes, but when it would close, you couldn't hurt it no matter what you did.
Ah.
Yeah, and my immediate thought was, oh, it's one of those. It's made it to the future. Fuck. So, yep. A new weapon created, or a fan created weapon, was just for a feather-like, created by Inuzaka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, Inuzuka.
I think I'm following him on DeviantArt.
No, that's fine. Let's see. Terrorless stuff. Spring Step, which spawns eggs.
That was like the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It's like you're pooping out eggs.
I wasn't a fan of the eggs. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. DE wants to kill my computer.
It's not as bad as Hydroid's tentacles back in the day.
No, nothing will ever top that. Oh, boy. Ah, yes, new deluxe skins. One for Garuda this time around. She looks... In fact, I'm going to look it up real quick so we can put her on. But yeah, the Garuda deluxe skin. Hey, I got mixed opinions about it. Like, it makes me think of Cry, really, when you look at the design.
I got it.
You don't see it?
What?
I said you don't see it?
I didn't even hear what you said it looked like.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it looks like something out of Devil May Cry.
I was thinking of like Queen of the Damned or something.
Kinda.
Like, that newer Mummy movie with Tom Cruise. That made me think of that too.
For some reason, Tom Cruise had to be in that one.
Yeah. I heard that movie did not do so well.
It did not do so well. It flatlined. Like, the second it came out, it flatlined.
Yeah, I prefer the originals.
Everyone preferred the originals. We didn't need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, this looks very good. It looks like what that Egyptian that mummy should have been.
The weird energy monster thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's more of a miss than it is a hit for me. Like in every sense of the word. But that's just me. Atlas Deluxe has been released.
I was in a sortie yesterday. And I believe the final one was a defense, and that was like the worst idea I had ever done, because I was having a little blood sugar moment halfway through. And I noticed these teeny tiny, absolutely tiny stone boys running around. I was a little confused, and then I saw the Atlas and went, oh, it was the deluxe guy. And I pointed out, your rumblers are absolutely tiny, I love them. So he spawned more.
Come forth, my small children.
They are so small.
I guess it's an opinion specifically. Oh, actually, I don't know who took this screenshot. I feel terrible. I don't know your name. For the Atlas Deluxe, I mean. But, yeah, the Rumblers are actually are changed. They're like these quartz-encrusted creatures. I like it.
When I saw them, I thought of the Cetus Wisps, because they're not really connected to each other.
They're connected to nothing. It's just floating there. But this is deluxe things kind of come in. It goes look up its own lore. Like, how did this become a thing in Warframe? And for Atlas, I just assume it was like an Orican experiment to create elemental beings to fight the sentients. And this is what we got.
I mean, Atlas is based off of the Titan of Stone.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah? Now? Oh my god, not now.
What happened?
We're gonna have to cut the stream short.
Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back next time around.
I am so sorry, guys. I thought my mom was actually being adamant about doing this crap on Friday. Like, she said she was gonna do it, but instead it's on Thursday.
Alright. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
If I come back in time, if you're still up for it, we can continue this later today. I'm not sure.
Okay. Either way, we'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Well, not soon, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, thanks everyone for tuning in.
We're gonna host Lycan. Bye, guys.